Relatable and real, 5 stars. I couldn't love this podcast more. It's relatable, it's real. Angela has a way of connecting with listeners through her own experiences, her professional expertise, and be authentically herself. Keep shining bright and adding value to your listeners' lives. Heart emoji. Thank you, Sarah, for that review for this podcast. It actually is a great segue because today's episode, I'm going to be chatting about how to utilize all those great testimonials and reviews that you have as part of your creative marketing strategy. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Hey, I'm Angela Doyon, and this is the Creative Marketing Show, the podcast for ambitious women in business looking to cut the BS, stop dancing for likes, and learn to create honest and genuine marketing strategies that don't cause burnout and overwhelm. Think of me as one of your friends that's here to support you and cheer you on while keeping you up to date with all the latest marketing trends and inspired actions you can start to implement into your business. Let's dive into a new episode. This is one of those episodes where I'm going to break you out of your comfort zone and tell you, don't be shy. It's not bragging. You should be proud of the work that you do, especially when your clients and customers offer you amazing feedback through testimonials, referrals, reviews, and yes, even those lovely messages that pop up in the DMs. So I'm going to be sharing 5 ways on how to use reviews, testimonials, client feedback as part of your marketing strategy. And side note, it's actually a great way to create content. So if you're like, oh, I don't know what to post, I don't know what to share, this can also lend into your social strategy. But number 1, first things first, we need to ask for feedback more often. It's amazing when feedback comes in, if someone sends you a nice note, but often we do need to ask. I know it's uncomfortable. It can be, but once you get in a habit of it, and if you're really proud of the products that you offer and the services you provide, then I want this to become really comfortable and just part of your quarterly, monthly, whatever, weekly strategy. If you've been tuning into this podcast for a while, you know almost every episode I do ask for my listeners to head over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Why? Because it helps build my credibility. It helps get this show out to more listeners, and it offers a little bit more, content that I can share as well to celebrate the success of the show. I want that for you too, and I want you to feel really comfortable. So some ways that you can ask could just be by sending an email once your service has ended. You could create a form like in Google Forms and ask for feedback that way. You could also create a survey. That's another way that you could just send that over, have that, kind of automated. It can be private, so people don't have to disclose their name, especially if you're looking for more feedback. But even just saying, hey, hope you enjoyed this. I'd love for you to leave me a review. What I like to do is make it easy for your clients and your customers. So by following up with an email and a direct link of where you'd like them to go. So if you're asking for it in just written form, be specific. Could you just give me, 1 or 2 sentences of how you felt the service was? Or you could send them a direct link to your Google page and say, here's the link if you'd like to leave me a rating on Google. Again, we always want to make it easy on our audiences, on our clients and our customers, because they're just as busy as you are. So if we overcomplicate it, that's when it doesn't typically happen. Another way to ask for feedback is through social media. You could throw something up in your stories and leave one of the question stickers and just say, hey, if you've worked with me, I'd love for you to drop in, a couple words of what you thought of the service, what you think of the products. Trying to think outside the box, but there's so many opportunities out there, but you just gotta ask. Number 2, once you have your reviews, your feedback, your testimonials, I want you to carve out some space on your website to prominently display them. This is really great for your credibility. It shows, the actual feedback from real clients and customers. And I don't want this to be at the footer. I want this to be in a prominent space because a lot of times when people are looking to purchase products or they're looking for new services, they want to see what others have felt about, working with you. So definitely carve out some space and list them in there. You don't have to get all fancy. In fact, a lot of the times it's just easy to take a screenshot. So if someone sent you an email, they responded to an email, or if they sent you some kind words in the DMs, you could just screenshot that and upload it as an image. That's okay too. In fact, I do the same thing. So there's lots of options there, but I do think if you haven't put it on your website, start doing that, especially if you've got a bank of feedback and you haven't done anything with them. Go back to old emails, or again, like number 1, start asking for some more. On that note, I do want to make sure that you're protected, and there are privacy laws that you might want to look into. They vary from country to country, but making sure that you have permission from your client in order to display on your website. So written permission is probably a good idea. So look into that to make sure that you're protected and that it's clearly defined. And of course, that those reviews are true and accurate. They're not from your mom or your sister. Even showing your client the review that you're going to be sharing just to get approval and ensure that it is accurate. But yes, protect yourself and just make sure you have permission. I wanted to make sure that I slipped that in there. So number 3, I kind of already mentioned this, but a good way to gather them is if you're not asking and stuff just happens to come for you, some great feedback, recognize those beautiful messages that come your way. So those could be in an email. It might just be a one-liner like, "Thanks so much. I found that so valuable. I really appreciate you." I would screenshot that. When someone sends a DM saying, "Love the podcast. It has helped me so much in my business. Thank you so much." That's a screenshot too. Once you have that, you can go back to your client or customer and just say, "Hey, this was really helpful. Would you mind if I shared this on your website, your email newsletter, on your socials?" And I'm pretty sure if they're willing to give you such great feedback, it's probably a yes. But again, we've just got to ask and get that permission. So start recognizing when this praise and feedback come through, even if you're not expecting it or you just think, "Oh, that was nice." Start banking that content, screenshot those, save them. If you tuned in to, I believe it's episode 13 with my good friend Luann Jardine, she's the Facebook ads strategist. She chatted about her Sunshine folder, and anytime someone responds to an email with like really kind words or sends her a message through Instagram, she banks it and she adds it to that Sunshine folder. Now, perhaps sometimes she might pull from that to use it as part of the strategy. Sometimes it's just nice to be reminded, in those low days where you're feeling like off, keep a folder and go back and read that feedback because it's going to help give you a boost of confidence knowing that you are capable of helping and supporting others. Number 4, put it in your email newsletter. I often hear, I don't know what to put in my newsletter each week. I totally get that. Maybe that's going to be an upcoming episode where I'll give you some ideas. Let me know in the DMs on Instagram at angela.s.doyon if that would be helpful for you. And then maybe I'll just put an episode together on that. But yeah, include that in your email newsletter. Maybe there's just a space carved out at the bottom, or you could do a shout out just saying, "Thank you so much. I recently worked on this project with so-and-so, and here's the feedback. If you're also needing support in this way, click this link." There's lots of opportunities there. So I want you to stretch this and maximize it. And then of course, number 5, include it in your social media strategy. This is social proof. So you could do it as an actual post, as a carousel with multiple feedback. You can do it in your Instagram stories. Anywhere on social that you want to mix that in, make sure you tag your clients and customers because then they might offer a little bit more feedback in the comments or share it to their own stories. So let's not let it go to waste. Again, celebrate the feedback that you are receiving from your customers and your clients. It's obviously well-deserved, and it's okay to share and celebrate. You should be rewarding yourself for the good work that you do. So if this is something that is a little bit uncomfortable, I hope that this episode can, give you that little kick in the butt to just celebrate yourself. You're capable of what you're doing. And when you get that feedback, that is social proof, and you should be shouting it from the rooftops. You never know, someone might just be on that fence of booking you for that service, and then they see that social proof. That could be the difference of a new client or not. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to leave me a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I appreciate it. Just had to sneak that one in there. Again, and just ensure that you're protecting yourself, getting that permission, but being confident, and it's okay to brag sometimes. You deserve it. If you need additional support for your business, you are welcome to check out my website, AngelaSDoyon.com. Under the resource tabs, there are some freebies there, some templates that can support you and help save you time. And if you're still looking for more support and you want to get a little bit more access and join me live, you are always welcome to join the Creative Marketing membership. Enjoy a monthly marketing roadmap, monthly template packs, Q&A threads in the Facebook group that I check Monday to Friday, so you get that extra support and your questions answered. And of course, my favorite, the monthly Q&A live coaching call with me and other members. It's definitely my favorite. And every month I do a bonus as well. That comes in the form of extra tutorials, live workshops with experts, so you don't want to miss out. You can visit AngelaSDoyon.com for details to join the Creative Marketing membership. Otherwise, come back next Wednesday for a new episode and enjoy the rest of your week.